Hey, what's up? It's Chris, guys. I'm back on my couch. I don't know what that was. Today I want to go over kind of like what I did this week. I did a very mini library haul because I still have a lot of books from the library, and also I was gone on vacation for a couple of days, so I got some reading done, but I don't like bringing my library books with me places because I don't want to mess them up. I'm pretty rough with books. I know this about myself, so I try to read them at home. You know, in designated spaces. I also want to touch base on a different topic, which is reasons why you should follow me on YouTube as a new book creator. Yay! I know, it sounds super riveting. I'll put a timestamp here if you don't want to listen to that and you just want to hear my book wrap up, so just go to this if you don't want to hear about this. That's fine by me. So let's get to know your friendly booktuber. Hi, my name's Chris. I didn't get this far. I am 26. I turned 27 in August this year. I have 3 cats and 2 lizards. I have a lovely husband. Our 4-year anniversary was actually this last weekend on April 5th. Yay, me! I bartend for a living. This is just kind of a hobby at this point. And also, a couple of my friends were like, Chris, you should start making booktube content. And I was like, man, I don't know. That feels like a very oversaturated thing. Like, booktube and book talk and bookstagram, like, took off a couple years ago. I'm very late to this game, you know? But I went for it. And here we are. So, yeah. I'm a full-time bartender, as I've mentioned. I like to garden in my spare time in the summer. I really like hiking. I like books, obviously. I like drawing. In my last video, actually, you can find some overlays of my drawings from my rant review from Spell Shop. Those are fun. I like D&D. I play D&D with a group of buddies every once in a while. I am the DM for one. I'm running a Pirates campaign currently that is slow boating right now because I got burnt out as a DM, so I've been kind of lacking in my DM department. I know, sue me. Let's get into why you should follow my book content out of the thousands of people there are out there. One, let's get a heavy hitter here, right? Let's knock out the people that aren't going to be interested in my kind of content right off the bat here. I think reading is political. I think when people say reading's not political, they're full of it. Honestly, everything about reading is political. If you were going to write about bad societies and the hero and all of these things, like, that is all politics. And that's just it. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I don't follow the book talk trends. I don't know. I'm currently on a book buying ban. I have 70 unread books on my physical TBR. I only own 2 bookshelves in my entire house. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. So I have 2 bookshelves. And I can't squeeze any more on there, and so I need to read what I can, and I'm utilizing my local library more. I'm a huge advocate for libraries. I'm a firm believer that audiobooks, comics, graphic novels, regular books, whatever, all of that counts as reading. If you are engaging your brain, good for you. Heck yeah. Get it done. If you read 1 book all year, congratulations. I love that for you. If you read 100 books, damn, I'm impressed. I average around 50 books a year. This year I'm counting graphic novels and comics into my books I've read throughout the year, but I also am going to do a breakdown at the end of the year of what were comics, manga, and graphic novels to books under 300 pages to books over 300 pages. So I intend to do a breakdown of that later. I mean, I'm not super up to date on the trends. I will say though right now, I probably will not be taking book suggestions unless it genuinely piques my interest. So things like A Court of Thorns and Roses don't necessarily pique my interest. Throne of Glass, Fourth Wing aren't super my cup of tea. It's my mom's cup of tea. So maybe one of these days I'll get my mom on my YouTube channel and she can yap about those books because she would love to talk to you about them. And maybe she can just sit and tell me all about those books and she can just have her own little day. We'll see. I'm a big horror thriller kind of apocalyptic reader. I'm currently reading Forest of Hands and Teeth by Carrie... Oh, man. We'll get to that later. I really like puzzles. Here's a big one. I work a full-time job. I don't necessarily want to make money off of sponsorships on this app. So I don't have any intention currently to pick up any sponsorships. Now, to add to that, I also do not want any PR boxes when it comes to doing BookTube. I don't need to oversaturate my shelves with publishers trying to send me PR. I want to be as authentic as possible, but also I don't want to have the obligation to read something just because I'm getting a PR package. I don't like the thought of the stress of that, to be completely honest. So, yeah. You probably won't see a ton of rant reviews. I am not the kind of person to go out of my way to read something I don't necessarily like or have seen other people not like, and I'm gonna jump the gun to make content. I see a lot of people do that with Colleen Hoover. Again, not typically my kind of read. I'm not the hugest fan of her writing. I've read a little bit of it. It's not my thing. I'm not gonna go out of my way to go read her newest thing to go rant review about it. If you're gonna get a rant review on my page, it's because I picked something up, finished it, and genuinely didn't like it. I didn't seek it out to not like it. So, clear the air here. I don't want to do a ton of rant reviews on this channel, unless I've accidentally stumbled upon a god-awful book. So that's just some of the reasons to maybe give me a subscribe. And that's the first time I've said that on this channel so far. And I probably will not say like and subscribe and hit the bell. It bugs me when I'm watching people, and so probably not something I will do. So, hey, we're all just here, okay? Juice box break. And yes, I am drinking a literal juice box because I'm an adult. And they're good. They're berry flavored from the dollar store. Okay, let's get into what I've been reading, what I've started reading, what I've finished reading, what I'm doing. And my timer might go off to set my bread in the oven here in a second, so you might watch me disappear. So, I was on my anniversary trip. We're getting right into it. I finally finished Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. I think I'm gonna do a complete book breakdown of this for 2 reasons. 1, I enjoyed the book, and it was great, but 2, I rated it 4 out of 5 stars because of a massive problem I actually had halfway through the book, and I would love to know if I'm the only person that felt this way. So maybe if I just like do a breakdown of the book, somebody else that has read it, maybe they'll have had the same issue. Overall, it was a really good book. I ended up staying up until like 2 a.m. in the hotel, just freaking feverishly flipping the pages. So it was a really good book, as most of you know at this point. I am a huge fan of T. Kingfisher. And I follow her on Blue Sky, and she is just a very lovely individual. Yeah, okay. With that, I had one of my Goodwill graphic novels I hadn't read, Mooncakes by Wendy... Stop. One sec. My bread needs to proof a little longer. That's okay. Where was I? Right. Mooncakes by Wendy Zhu and Susan Walker. I got this at Goodwill. I ended up finishing it. I started it at the coast, and I finished it when we got back on Tuesday. This is really a cute graphic novel. If you haven't seen it or read it, please go check it out at your local library. This was so cute. It's a very good coming of age. It's magic, it's witches, it's queer relationships, non-binary character. It was so fun. It just struggles, it's a lot of coming into your own person and finding your power. And the art style is just gorgeous. It was just lovely. It was such a lovely read, and I'm so glad I started reading it, and I'm so glad I finished it, and I'm so glad I own it. What am I currently reading? I've started Knights by Wyatt Kennedy and Luigi Formisano. I started this. I don't quite know how I feel about it yet. I like the art style, but how the storyline is paced, I'm having a hard time. So I'm hoping, because we've just kind of time skipped 5 years, like all of a sudden, I'm not very far in, it's kind of, I don't know, I'm hoping the pacing starts evening out a little bit, because currently I'm having a hard time getting into it. Normally I'm pretty quick to tank graphic novels and comics, and this one's been really hard to continue to read, so I have the second issue in my house. Just depends on if this can continue to capture my attention, because currently I just am not... It's not a vibe. And that's okay. I am still reading Eating the Sun, which is a non-fiction book just about space and science. And yeah, I mean, I've actually learned a decent bit about how light works in this and reflections, and why the color blue is like not commonly found in nature, and the reason why the ocean in the sky looks blue is completely unrelated to the fact that it is the color blue. It's actually just how the light reflects, and blue is the most spread out reflection. Really crazy stuff. If the sun were to just like vanish, like snap of fingers, it would take us 8 minutes to find out, which is crazy. There's all sorts of fun knowledge in here. I'm on like page 35 right now. I'm just gonna slow through it because it's like every other couple of pages is like a new, different, like topic. It's been really fun to get through. I'm actually having a great time with this. I'm just kind of picking it up periodically. And I started this yesterday at work because I finished Hemlock and Silver and then I didn't have a book in my bag, so I grabbed off my physical TBR, just grabbed a random book. So I picked up The Forest of Hands and Teeth, which there is nothing on the cover of this. The Forest of Hands and Teeth by, I believe it's Carrie Ryan. If it's not, I will put the author name here. I actually have recently found out that this is, I think, a trilogy. And I had this on my standalone books. I'm, again, showing you a black book. Oh my god. I thought it was a standalone, and I recently found out that there is another book, or another 2 books, in this. And I'm already into chapter 3, and I'm having a great time. It is like a zombie apocalypse story, and it's really good so far. I'm having a really good time reading it. The main character's mom is like turning into what they call an unconsecrated? Give me 1 sec. Let me see, because they say it a lot in this. Yeah, unconsecrated, which I did have to Google what that meant. And I will put the definition here for those of you that also don't know, because I didn't know. So that was an interesting way to reference zombies in a way. So I'm having a really good time with that one. So I dropped off some stuff at the library. I finished Riots I Have Known by Ryan Chapman. I ended up DNFing Indelicacy by Amina Kane. I could not get into that book to save my life. I made it like 20 pages and it bored me. The main character was just boring and she wants to be this aspiring writer and she's just really bad at writing. And so she just like talks about how her friend constantly is talking about how she wants a rich husband and she wants all these lavish clothes, and she like dusts the museum, and there was no hook in the beginning of that. And I'm not saying every book needs a hook, but man, it was so slow and I just felt like I was slogging through it. And it was supposed to be one of the books that was in the books under 150 pages to help readers get back into reading. And that was not going to be it, because let me tell you, if I couldn't get into it, I couldn't imagine trying to recommend that to someone trying to get back into reading. Like, I would put you in a reading slump. I'm so sorry. Personal preferences, if you like that book, good for you. I read The Little Red Fish. I can't remember the author's name. I'll put the whole book up here. That was... Oh, man. That one was an experience. If you have the ability to go check that out at the library, I would recommend it, but it is a heavy read about, like, tensions in the Middle East and how... Basically, the moral of the story, doesn't matter how much power you have, it's who holds that power is what makes a difference. And it was from the perspective of, like, the fish colony at war with the herons, and it was a heavy read, and I would absolutely recommend that book. Like, 5 out of 5. It was amazing graphic novel, well adapted, beautifully drawn, stunning book, very heavy. Highly recommend that one. And then I read Imaginary Borders by The Pocket Collection. This is the second book of that I've read that I've just found at the library. It was very interesting. The Pocket Collection, Imaginary Borders, was about the weird restrictions that we've kind of put on ourselves and our parents and their parents have put on us when it comes to trying to make change. Protesting, to just solving the world's problems, and these borders we stick on ourselves and other people stick on us that prevent us from actually doing what we want to do or getting the things we want to get done. It's a very short read. I read it in like 25 minutes. The great collection of books. Like I said, it's the second one I've read. And I would recommend people go check out those books if you can. I went to the library after dropping those books off because they needed to go. And I had the fortune of, when we were up at the coast, I was able to go see the Driftwood Library in Lincoln City and talk about a cute freaking library. Oh my gosh. You gotta remember, the current library that I go to is very industrial, and I'm used to the Forest Grove Library. So, I have some pictures I'll put on the screen. Aren't they cute? It's like such a long library. It's huge. Gorgeous. I loved this library. New personal goal to go check out different kinds of libraries because, why not? But while I was there and browsing through all their shelves, I found some really interesting books. And then when I came back to my library today, they had some of them. They actually only had 2, but I ended up with 3 books because the other one's the second book. And my husband was like, yeah, but if you read that book and then you finish it really fast, you're going to want to go straight into the second book. And I'm so glad my husband knows me. I found The Fireborn Blade by Charlotte Bond. Bingo. And I have book 2 as well. So I found these. They're under 150 pages, so you know that it means it's going in the collection for the end of the year. So let me read you the description of everything. Wow. Everyone's going to realize I don't know how to read. Natalie is a knight. There aren't many women in her line of work, and it often feels like the sneering and contempt from her peers are harder to stomach than the actual dragon slaying. But she's a knight, and made of sterner stuff. A minor infraction forces her to redeem her honor in the most dramatic way possible. She must retrieve the Fable Fireborn Blade from its keeper, legendary dragon, the White Lady, or die trying. If history tells us anything, it's that die trying is where to wager your coins. So, women knights slaying dragons looking for legendary blades? Sounds awesome. And then, of course, I got The Bloodless Princes, which is the book 2, because apparently there's 2 books. I don't believe this series is finished. I made my husband look it up, and he said that there's only 2 books right now, but it looks like she might be publishing a 3rd book, so... Oh well. Anyway, so I'm very excited for these, because this sounds really freaking cool. And then this one, I've seen... I swear I've seen it on Book Talk. I might be insane, though. The Tusk of Extinction by Ray Naylor. I read the descriptor for this book and was like, I have to find this book. I was going to put this book on hold, and then I was digging through my current library and was like, holy shit, they have it. Incredible. Let me read you this. So, The Tusk of Extinction. When you bring back a long extinct species, there's more to success than DNA. Moscow has resurrected the mammoth, but someone must teach them how to be mammoths, or they are doomed to die out again. Dr. Damira, oh man, that's a heavy last name. Kismetulina? Why do I suck so bad at names? Sorry. An expert in elephant behavior was brutally murdered trying to defend the world's last elephants from the ivory trade. Now, her digitized consciousness has been downloaded into the mind of a mammoth. As the herd's new matriarch, can Damira help fend off the poachers long enough for the species to take hold? Or will her own ghosts and Moscow's real reason for bringing the mammoth back doom them to a new extinction? Absolutely! Are you kidding? It sounded so sick. So, that's what I picked up. Not that I don't have a billion other books from the library that I still need to read, like Monstrous, which is sitting over there, and my book on hawks, and my 100 Space Objects. There's so much to read. There's so many cool things to do. And we also can't forget, my physical TBR as a whole. So, and I am reading a book from my physical TBR, because that's the one that goes back and forth to work with me and travels with me. Because again, I don't want to mess up the library books, because, like I said, I'm a little rough on books. I throw my backpack around, my bags and everything, so I don't want to mess up a library book. So, I'd rather mess my own books up. That's why I own them. Yeah. The book fund for my book haul at the end of the year. Yes, there will be a book haul either the end of the year or the beginning of next year. But I'm in my book buying ban, so whatever books I finish reading, there's certain amounts that go into my book fund. It's sitting up on my bookshelf, and then I have a list of books that I am interested in and authors that I know that I like their writing style for, that I'm gonna go potentially purchase. We're gonna try purchasing everything secondhand through thrift books or the local book exchange near my place, see if they have them before that we try to outsource to like Barnes & Noble. We're going to attempt to avoid Amazon at all costs. We'll see what we can do. We're going to support local and then also try to thrift well before that, but that is way farther down the line. So that's all I have today. Yeah, I mean, consider subscribing. Consider giving me a watch. I know that there is a large book community out there, and there are tons of people making book content, and I am just one of thousands of people, and that's okay, because maybe I'm somebody's cup of tea. So, cool. Maybe that's how I start ending these. It's cool, because maybe I'm somebody's cup of tea. See ya! Maybe that's a good exit. We'll give it a go. Alright. Bye.